Hello, everybody, and welcome to another wonderful review of an E3 conference. My name is Jamie, and I will be your host today on this Xbox Enthusiast review. With me, we have a very, very full house. We have Chris, Kendra, Steve, Andrew, and some PlayStation guy sitting next to me. This is Josh from PlayStation.
There we go. Represent.
So, first of all, how's everybody doing today, this morning? Hopefully everyone enjoyed the Microsoft conference.
Yeah, great. It was great.
But not as much as Andrew did.
Not as much as Andrew, that's true.
Very. Yes, Andrew, how was it from the show floor? Was it pretty exciting? What do you think, man?
It was pretty crazy. I mean, we were pretty close up, but I mean, during some of the demos, like Sea of Thieves, when they had the flames shoot out, like when the cannon shot out, you could see like smoke effects looking like fire coming out of like the sides. It was like actually being there was a lot more immersive than what you would see watching the trailer. You kind of see the things happening around you, and it's pretty cool.
Cool. I'm surprised you still have.
But more importantly, what are you doing with Penn Jillette behind you?
Yeah, I was going to say, that guy looks like he wants your phone number.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, guys. Let's hop into it right from the start. We had what was already leaked, the Xbox One Slim. Now, so far, pretty much what we heard before is still true. 2 terabyte hard drive, an integrated power supply, so you don't have that stupid brick anymore. It says it has IR blasting, HDR gaming. It's going to have 4K Ultra HD visuals. It's also going to have a new controller with increased range. I know we kind of thought maybe there'd be a microphone on the controller. That's not there. But it's going to release in August for $299. And one interesting thing, which most of us probably won't find surprising, I don't know if you noticed or not, no Kinect adapter port on the back.
Dun, dun,
So
dun.
Kinect is gone. So I guess first, let's start with your thoughts on the Slim. So, Chris, let's start with you. We'll just kind of work down the line. What do you think of this new Slim console? Because I think you're the one that broke the story on the site, correct?
Yeah. I wrote it up. Yeah, no. I wrote it up. I mean, the console looks great. It's not for us, really. I mean, Xbox One gamers now have their console. There's obviously some tweaks there. The idea of 4K is great in theory. The average person doesn't have a 4K TV. So just writing output to 4K on a box is great. But the actual console itself isn't really doing much. It's just smaller, which is nice. The integrated power supply may be the most innovative thing that they've done. I can't remember the last time I bought a console that didn't have a power brick with it.
PlayStation.
So, dang it. Yeah. Why do you let him sit next to the microphone?
I know. I'm sorry. I should have duct tape over his mouth. But
Didn't the original Xbox have an internal power supply?
It did. Yeah.
That thing was huge.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like 500
as is the Xbox One.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, that's for the giant fan. You need that for all that cooling power.
Of course. I mean, 2 terabytes are the hard drive that we're going to get. We're moving more digital. You're going to see games get bigger and bigger as we go, so that makes sense. One of the things that I think is easily overlooked is with the controller. Now, they haven't officially announced it, but anytime they announce a new console with a new controller, the controller will be sold separate. The controller has extended wireless capabilities, but also has Bluetooth capabilities. Now, up to this point, Xbox has always had a proprietary wireless infrastructure so that their controller could only speak to their consoles. Adding Bluetooth means now if you have a computer, a laptop, for instance, my XPS 13 has Bluetooth capabilities. Now I can wirelessly connect to my laptop without having any sort of dongle connected to it. It actually means that hypothetically you could play a PlayStation with a much better controller. So.
What do you think about that, Mr. Brant? Would you ever play PlayStation with an Xbox controller?
If it offered infinity more battery life, then yes, I would.
Sure.
because the battery life on the PS4 controller sucks, and that's the only thing that sucks about it. I like everything else. But,
Sure.
But that's because it's a rechargeable, isn't it? And it's not something you can swap out. It's not like with the Xbox One controller where you can just stick whatever AA batteries in it you want.
Yeah.
Right. It's completely where you charge it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've got 2 sets of rechargeable AA's I use in my Xbox One, so technically I've got a rechargeable controller too. But okay, Kendra, what do you think about the Slim? Are you excited? Will you have any interest in purchasing one?
That's probably going to be something that goes in our bedroom. With my partner and I, as much as we game together, she would love to see that in there. Me personally, I don't see a point in having it. Like having the extra console around, we already have a PS4. There's no use for it for us.
Sure.
Chris did a pretty good job running it all down. With that, and then with what we'll talk about later, it seems sort of like a stopgap to get people to stop complaining about the console and the Kinect and everything.
Sure. Well, I don't know. I don't know where that child came from, but apparently we had a child run by in the background.
Sorry, that's my little boy running across the landing after having a bath.
It's kind of frightening. I love it.
Real quick, I just wanted to make a note. We got an August release date, even though we don't have a physical, the actual date. Typically, when they release a console, they do it around the launch of a game, and they also didn't announce an August game either. So, that puts a big question mark next to Sea of Thieves, which we still assume is this year, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But I would pretty much put it down that you're going to have a first-party game to launch alongside the Slim console in August.
Cuphead?
Not a real game.
That is a real game.
It is a real
Actually,
game.
that Cuphead is the one game that this man right here says he would buy.
The one Xbox exclusive I would
That
love
game
to
looks
have.
amazing.
All right,
Yeah, Xbox.
fair enough. It won't move consoles, so
No, but it would move this man. But,
So it's moving a console.
real quick, actually, Andrew, I've got a question for you. What was the reaction like on the show floor for the Slim? Were people pretty excited?
I mean,
Or was it kind of...
it started everything, so right away people were just clapping. I looked over at Eli and I was like, I'm buying it. And
Whisper, I'm buying that.
I need a bigger hard drive. I run through a lot of things really fast. All this stuff is cool. I have a Kinect. If I were to get it, maybe I would use that as my family's console and I keep one in my room. I would find use for it. I like it. I could always put all my digital games on one console, my physical games on another console. And I could,
sure.
Like, I've been thinking about that for a long time, what I would do if they'd release another one, and I might actually do it like that, because I always find myself having to delete games because I run out of space, and $2.99 is a reasonable price point, and it's a pretty good deal to me. I would totally buy it.
Cool. Okay. And Steve, anything to add? I mean, do you have any interest in the Slim at all, or are you just going to stick with the standard Xbox One?
I'm probably going to stick with the standard one at the moment. Of course, there was the big announcement at the end of the show, which we'll get to. The one thing that did intrigue me about the announcement was it said that there was 4K streaming, and there was it said 4K streaming and Blu-ray. So I do wonder whether it's going to have an Ultra HD drive in it. Which there's not been any mention of at all, and wouldn't be that expensive to put in, because it's not that more expensive a drive to use, but would be a useful feature to add.
Sure. I mean, when that little thing popped up, it did say 4K Ultra HD video, but like I said, I don't know if that's just for streaming or if that would include the actual drive itself.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be pretty cool. But after that, we got the Coalition came on stage. You got Gears of War 4. Now, I can't remember which one of you covered the Gears story. Chris, was that you or Kendra? I can't remember which one covered that.
That was me.
Kendra.
Okay, tell us, what is going on with Gears of War 4? I know they had a pretty cool demo.
It was pretty much giving us a more realistic look at what the campaign's going to look like. New weapons, just whole new tech, and the weather that was going on. Just as many things that was going on screen was amazing, and then a lightning towards the end. They also said something that was really interesting at the very beginning, how they were talking about how they're trying to do this push with, and I know they elaborated on it later, but how they're trying to do this push with the PC gaming and having co-op go between the two, and this included Horde 3.0, which sort of they just let slide underneath the radar, which is single-handedly one of the better parts of the Gears games. That's got me really excited. But the game looks hands down jaw-dropping. It looks like it's not quite the leap of the first Gears of War game that we have on the 360, but it's up there. It is up there.
I would be interested to know if they were running that demo on a PC or whether they were running that actually on an Xbox One.
That was a PC.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was a PC.
Now, actually, that's a good thing to mention now. One thing they talked about with this year's conference, pretty much every game they discussed at the end of each trailer, exclusive for Xbox One and Windows 10. So it's going to be kind of like what they do with PlayStation with their cross-buy.
Their ecosystem.
Right, where you're going to have, if you buy it on Windows 10, you're going to get an Xbox One, or Xbox One, you're going to get it on Windows 10. Kind of like what PlayStation's doing with, PS4, PS3, Vita. You buy it once, you're going to get it everywhere, which is actually, I like that. It's going to be nice. So let's say for some reason down the road something happens to my Xbox One, then I can hop onto my Windows 10 PC because all my achievements, all my saves, is all stored in the cloud. So I'll be good to go. One ecosystem for everything.
But there's a big if there. There's a really big if there. Like, you have to have a PC that can run those games.
Sure. No. Right. Absolutely.
I mean, it's kind of
Not many people
pointless
have that.
and for a lot of people who buy consoles and may not buy any other gaming PC or any other devices. It's kind of pointless.
Sure.
It is a more expensive thing, though, the Microsoft side of it, though. If you take the PlayStation thing where you can play it on PS4, PS3, PS Vita, they tend to be the more independent games, or if they're not independent games, they're not massively graphically challenging games because they have to be able to run on PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita, where these games are going to be AAA titles like Gears of War 4, presumably the new Forza, Halo Wars 2. Those games are going to be graphically challenging. So basically, they're cutting their profits in half in a way, because if you buy it on Xbox, you've got it on PC. If you buy it on PC, you've got it on Xbox.
So let me interject a couple of things. First off, I would say, as far as cutting their revenue in half, I feel like what they're really trying to do is get a hold of the Steam market, whereas you're not buying it for Steam, you're getting it on Windows Store. So the question is not necessarily that you're going to buy it from Windows or buy it from Xbox. It's are you going to buy it from Xbox or you're going to buy it from Steam? And so they're hoping by giving you a PC version, you might buy it on PC, knowing that you're going to get a free Xbox One version or vice versa. So for me, this is in a couple ways. So we're talking about Microsoft pushing it from first party. These are graphically strong games, and I agree with that completely. But this is an initiative that they're pushing. There was no mention on whether they will or won't include other third-party games in the future. Since they're marrying the Windows 10 platform, I could almost definitely see this becoming the norm for a lot of games, especially if Microsoft puts some money behind, more independent type developers to do a similar thing. The other thing this does is it now makes you think when you're going to buy a computer. I mean, you may not have a computer that can run it now, but if you go buy a computer, next year or in 2 years, and you're comparing your options, and then you think to yourself, well, I have a library of 25 games that right now I can play on an amazing PC. That may actually affect your decision in what you're buying in order to future-proof that. So, there's a couple of positives to it.
Sure, and I know Brant was going to say something before, his quiet PlayStation voice was interrupted by the boisterous Xbox man.
Sorry about that. Fanboys unite.
Sure. Now, Mr. Mouse Man, go ahead and tell us.
Love you all. We're all gamers here.
Right.
No, I was just going to say it seems like Microsoft's moving away from the console space in general. Like, they want to unify everything and keep it all within their ecosystem without... And I think that the new Xbox that they're going to show will move away even more from the console. It's going to be like a high-end PC pretty much. Everything just runs together. So in a way, it's sort of muddy how they were going around it, but I understand why they're doing it, because it's all within their ecosystem. And it's a good move, in my opinion, what they're doing. like I said, it seems like they're trying to throw everyone that has a console and say, hey, here it is. You can get it on your PC if you have it, and if you want to update to the next console, which is going to be pretty much a PC, then good for you. Or just keep with the old Xbox One and use it on the PC.
Sure. And actually, sorry, go ahead.
As we're going to be talking about that later or in another video anyway, can we go back to Gears a minute? That's
exactly what I was going to say.
That's what we started talking about.
Over here, and we got off track. Is there anything else you guys want to mention about the Gears trailer? Because it was absolutely gorgeous. It looks fantastic. So, Steve, what did you want to say about Gears? Because you seem like you want to talk. And so, pretty much, I will let you go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Unleash Steve.
Okay, first of all,
Steve, you want to say something?
Like you wanted to say something.
Tongue-tied.
Go ahead.
I think he just logged out.
Okay, first of all, it did look gorgeous. Secondly, the enemies in it really do just look like reskinned locusts. I mean, it's the swarm rather than the locusts, but they look pretty much exactly like locusts. The nest looks exactly like a sinkhole. It's if they're going to go to different enemies, they need to be more creative about it. They need to have something that's going to change it up, rather than having these photo fit things that are the same as before, just with different names and slightly different coloring.
So basically, this is the Force Awakens of Gears of War.
I'm saying they should rain down from the sky.
Yeah. I will say, I mentioned this in the chat and everybody yelled at me. I've never played the Gears games, but
Wow.
so I watched the show with my 10-year-old daughter, and after we were done,
because that's the age group that ought to be playing games.
Hey,
Yeah.
but listen. After we got done, we were talking about it, and I was like, what was your favorite game? I was expecting Sea of Thieves because that game looked amazing, and she was like, probably Gears of War 4. I'm like, that doesn't really resonate.
Parent.
I will say
raising
there
your
is
child
a
right.
no gore mode. There is a mode where they cut down the cursing and the gore.
Yep.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Well, actually, Andrew, to get back onto the show floor, our man, a man on the ground. What was the reaction for Gears? I mean, what do you think of Gears? Were people pretty pumped for that trailer?
The two moments that everybody cheered for, and I know I was like freaking out, was horde mode.
Did you pee your pants? Are you okay? You're gonna be good.
A little bit there.
Horde mode, that announcement, people were loving it, but when they took the buzzsaw and destroyed everybody, I think I let out a yeah. That's what I wanted to see.
Hey, wait! Quick question for you, Andrew. Talking about yelling out. Were you the one that yelled out "Cuphead" when they talked about the indie games?
That was me. You can hear me from here. I can't play.
Well, actually, speaking of Gears, though, to just kind of springboard off of that, Killer Instinct, they announced that General Rom from Gears will be coming to Killer Instinct. I'm not a fighting game fan, so I don't really have much to say about it. But what do you guys think? Are you happy for that addition?
Depends on how he handles. I mean, if he's like, I don't know what they're going to do with him. I mean, we all know he's a big juggernaut, but outside of some videos, until I get my hands on him, I don't know what to think of him just yet.
Sure. Now, Andrew, I know you're a pretty big fight fan, because I know you were pretty excited for Injustice 2 and all that coming out. What do you think of this Killer Instinct announcement?
Iron Galaxy is so awesome. I think they can do great with whatever character they bring. And as soon as that music started playing, I knew we were in for something good. I can't wait for it.
Cool. Okay. Well, with that, we hopped into another genre that I don't personally play. We hopped into Forza Horizon 3, I believe it was.
Yes.
Now, who's excited for Forza? I'm not a racing game person. I never have been.
Good eye.
Steve, are you laughing? Are you excited for that?
I love Forza, man.
Good.
I absolutely love all my racing games, and Forza is the best of the lot. I hate to pee on our PlayStation fans parade, but Gran Turismo used
I'm not a
to
racing game fan, so I don't care. Whatever.
Gran Turismo used to be the daddy, but Forza in the last few episodes have just absolutely
It looked
killed
fantastic.
it.
Yep.
Absolutely killed it. They're fun to play, particularly the Horizon series does add kind of like a sense of fun to it, and this new one looks just amazing. And it's a nice venue. Moving it to Australia, so you've got kind of the countryside with the outback. You've got beaches you can race on, and you've got cities that you can race in. And the game just looks stunningly gorgeous. Really, really impressive.
Great. It looks like you could come completely off, like just go off road. You know, it looked like the whole island is your deserts. You know, on the beach.
Well, get yourself an Xbox, and then you can play Forza Horizon 2, and you can do the same thing.
So 2 is the French countryside. Right, but this is set in Australia. For me, I thought the coolest thing was seeing the water. Horizon 2 kind of blocked you off when you got too close down to the coast.
Yeah.
But to be able to ride out on the beach and race, I mean, it looks super cool.
Yeah.
Cool. 4-player co-op, 4-player co-op as well.
I knew a few
of us would probably play together. I will totally play co-op.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Andrew,
I'm just waiting for a new Burnout.
Sure. You're gonna be waiting a long.
You have one. It's called Dangerous Golf.
No.
Don't get Andrew started on Dangerous Golf. We'll be talking on that for another like half hour because we know how much he loves Dangerous Golf. So we want him to spread the love of Dangerous Golf.
Oh God.
But actually, speaking of love, Chris, what did they show next? A little trailer for a game called. What was it again?
Recore. Yeah, so I mean, you know, there's no denying that my devout love for a game that I have no idea what it is still.
You know a little bit more.
But it looks great. We got a little bit more. I mean, you know, we know the creative teams behind them are definitely capable. We know with Microsoft kind of supporting the game, you know, it's going to have, you know, money to do something cool. But yeah, they showed us a gameplay trailer. They showed us we already knew Jewel and Max the dog robot. They also gave us names for 2 additional robots: Seth, which is the spider type robot, and then the monkey one. Duncan. Yeah.
Duncan.
So now we have more companions, and they said in the very first last year at E3 they said there was going to be even more than just the ones that were seen at the end of the trailer. So we probably will get more. But you know, I mean, it has a very kind of Zelda-esque feel to it, Beyond Good and Evil type feel to it. I mean, you know, really early on in the trailer, she's running around shooting like a robotic worm, you know, which look like, you know, any number of times you're running around smacking a worm in the tail with a sword in Zelda. Like, I mean, it has kind of that same feel to it. You saw the Seth, which is the octopus one that you kind of use as like a grapple where she could, you know, climb up to higher heights. It just looks great. It looks really cool. They gave it a final date, which is September 18th. So we were right. It will come out this year.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not 2017? It didn't get delayed.
Pretty sure.
I guess my prediction got busted. Right?
Wasn't it the 13th? I'm pretty sure it was September 13th.
I'll double check. I looked at the. I'll double check. But yeah, anyway, I'm super pumped. I mean, nothing's changed on that. I totally love everything they've shown so far. I can't wait to play it. So
cool. Now, actually, Josh, let me ask you, since you're a PlayStation guy, what did you think of Recore? Is this Xbox exclusive? Do you have any interest in Recore at all?
Well, like Chris said, it's a legendary team that's working on this game. So you almost have to be pumped up for it because they have such good chops in other genres, and the more gameplay they showed, like, it's coming way sooner than what I think either of us thought. Like, I was thinking late 2017 that we got all this gameplay with it, and it looked really solid. The combat looked good. The mechanics of having all the different bots. I mean, yeah, it got me pumped up, wondering how. I'm more intrigued about see how well this game comes along. It looks like something Platinum Games would do almost.
Cool.
And, yeah, looks cool.
And Andrew, did it get pretty good reaction? I'm just curious, because you were there. I'm just kind of curious what kind of response we got from Recore.
I know a lot of people were pumped. The reaction, it always varied. Certain scenes got more reaction than overall. So we would get random cheers when like Jules did something compared to like the whole trailer. I know people were just really excited to actually see it in action. As soon as I saw her, I know Chris and I were probably
Yes.
just going crazy because
I mean, Chris was actually crying. You missed it. He had tears of joy.
I was weeping.
Listening, it was soaked. I wasn't sweating.
Right. Well, Steve, what about you? Do you have any interest in Recore? Are you excited for this one?
I am interested in it. It's one of those things where I just want to see some more of it before I actually throw my money at it. Like has been said, the team behind it seem fantastic. The premise of it looks brilliant. I'm intrigued to see whether it's a big game or if it's a smaller game. But I just want to see a bit more of it before I actually throw my money at it.
Okay. And Kendra, anything to add?
I just think the game looks interesting. I'm not as pumped as obviously Chris is, but
I don't think anybody in the world can be as pumped as Chris is.
That's true. That's true.
but
Set the bar.
I want to give it a shot. I really do.
Sure. And I think it looked pretty good. I'll definitely check it out. It looks like my kind of game. Like that Legend of Zelda, action adventure, exploratory kind of game. It should be pretty good.
Hey, real quick before we move on, just to confirm, Andrew was right. It is the 13th. I'm checking the news story now to make sure I put the right date. I wrote it down wrong in my notes, but it is September 13th.
Chris, get out of here.
That's right. I'll take over now for you.
Well, actually, Brant, while you're here, because I know you are a huge Final Fantasy guy. Now,
Yeah, well,
were you surprised they
Everything
showed Final
before 13. Yes. Yeah.
Fantasy? So were you surprised they showed Final Fantasy at Xbox versus PlayStation?
Yeah, that's the first thing that I said to you. Like, I was expecting to see this at Sony's, Maybe they have some other Square Enix partnership that they'll show off, but I think it's, like you said, Xbox doubling down on, hey, this is a place you can play this too, Sony's not the only one with the Final Fantasy brand, so
Sure.
It worked in their favor, I think, and it looks great.
Now, I know you didn't like, Final Fantasy 13 on. So, did it excite you? I mean, what about this game made you happy about?
The more I see of it, like at first when I saw it, was like the boy band simulator. Like I wasn't too excited about it, honestly. I was like, oh no, more Final Fantasy 13. Well, most disappointing game I've ever played. But yeah,
Big words from a little man.
so full of compliments. But yeah, I think it looked great though. The time they faced and the gameplay, and it's more action oriented. We'll see how that goes. Like Final Fantasy 12, that's one of my favorites, and that was more action oriented as well, strategy wise.
Sure.
So yeah, it looks good.
The combat actually kind of reminded me, at least from watching it, it reminded me a little bit, almost like the Xenoblade game, where it's like a live action kind of combat where you're running around and attacking versus just doing, the standard, select your moves and then attack.
I'll be honest, didn't like it at all.
Really? Really?
And I am a...
Andrew, we know it's not your caliber. You like the Legend of Korra game, so we know it's not up to the same standard that you're used to.
I love Final Fantasy. It's one of my favorite series of all time. I don't know if it was the person who was playing it. It's just like...
They messed up a lot.
Yeah, and I think when you're doing a demo, you need to really sell it, and I kept seeing him be hit every time. He kept falling over, and I'm like, I don't think he was trying to do this, and everything was perfect, but he just didn't.
Always pre-record your demos.
Yeah, no,
Yes.
like I'm watching it, and I'm just like, dude, you're messing up in front of everybody, and I was just like, the game could be really cool, but this presentation just underwhelmed me, and then the game was done, and I was just ready to move on to the next thing, though I was really shocked to see it on stage, like Josh said. Thought it was a Sony thing.
Sure. Now, are any of the rest of you, Chris, Kendra, Steve, are you excited for Final Fantasy? You Final Fantasy people at all? Because I know I'm not, so I didn't really have much interest in it.
I used to be very much into Final Fantasy. 13 pretty much killed any excitement I've had for the series.
A lot of people.
Like it just destroyed it. But it looked clumsy. The game on stage just looked clumsy, and that actually has me worried.
Sure. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, it looked about as good as when Josh plays video games. So, I mean, it's...
That's why it appealed to me so much, right?
I'm going to have to put some water.
See, I gotta get... The PlayStation guy is here. I got to give him a hard time. Got to keep poking him. Yeah. So.
Feel the love.
Right. Well, one thing to hit on, I don't know how much time I want to spend on it. They did say that new add-on content is coming to The Division. Now, I don't play The Division. I mean, is this a pretty big deal, or do we just want to kind of just say it's coming to Xbox One first? Is there anything we want to add about that, or just move on to the next thing?
I vote we move on.
It's just it was just there to
okay.
stay there.
I love The Division. I think it's an absolutely fantastic game, and I'm really interested in seeing the DLC. I'm excited for it.
I think it's awesome, but I think it was just kind of there. They didn't really need to do it. It was just there to say it's coming first.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why it was there. You assume Ubisoft's going to be on Sony's stage, so they had to put something on stage. But I agree. I think it looks really cool. From what I could put together, it's randomly generated maps underground, which just sounds super cool. Yeah, I mean, it's a like at first I literally thought it was a different game because it just seemed kind of out of place for what they've done for The Division. But to do this kind of randomly generated, it just makes the possibilities kind of endless. Where what you can do and kind of the adventures you can have. It's a great add-on. I think it looks super cool.
Sure. It's the kind of thing which in a game that's supposed to have a really extended lifespan, having the randomly generated stuff enables that really well.
Yep, for sure.
Good for the fans.
Sure. Yep. Well, actually, speaking of things that are out of place, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. When they talked about Battlefield 1, isn't that the trailer we already saw?
Yeah.
Did they show anything new for Battlefield 1? I mean, because I know we've already talked about Battlefield 1, so we probably don't have to talk about it too much on here, because we talked about it with our previous conference coverage. But wasn't that the exact same trailer from before?
Yeah.
They didn't show anything new.
Yeah.
I think
that's kind of
that's good. I think what they wanted you to hear was that you get to play it first on Xbox One with EA Access.
Sure.
That's it. It's like you have EA Access, guess what? PlayStation's going to get it the same day, but you can get it a week early. So
we're really
October 13th, correct?
The thing is, though, Phil Spencer should have come on and pointed out that Titanfall 2 will probably be first on EA Access because they're probably going to show that in the Sony press conference.
I think that, because
it would have been a huge middle finger to Sony, the fact that they're saying it's going to be on EA Access first.
Agreed.
But here's the thing about that.
Sure.
Like, can they do that if it's if it's already going to be over there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just like we know that Activision's going to fire back with the new expansion that's coming to Destiny. So, and they didn't talk anything about Destiny either. I mean,
but hasn't that exclusivity deal ended now? Isn't the new DLC coming to Destiny all platforms at the same time?
I think it's more about branding.
Okay.
I mean, that's why we saw Battlefield 1 in this press conference, because that's all about branding, and they want you to think that this is an Xbox game. Instead of attaching it to PlayStation, which already has Call of Duty.
Yeah. Well, and just to answer the simple part of your question, that happened with Star Wars Battlefront. Star Wars Battlefront came out, I want to say 12 days early with EA Access. So, it's going to happen. Any EA game that they release, whether they push it on PlayStation or not, is going to come first to Xbox. And
Mirror's Edge Catalyst has it as well, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mirror's Edge came out a week before. Yeah. So.
Yep. Okay, guys. Well, after that, they got into some updates coming to the Xbox. Well, new features coming to Xbox Live. The first thing they mentioned, they're going to actually add more live servers, so it's going to be faster and more reliable. They're also going to add some new features as well. Now, one thing my brother-in-law got super excited and clapped for, they're bringing background music back.
Yes.
So background while you're playing games.
Finally. Come on.
Super excited about that.
I can play that podcast.
How many years has it taken?
Sure. Hey, that's a very complicated process to move that over. Okay?
Bro, that was like one of the very first features on the Xbox 360. Come on.
The first feature on the original Xbox.
But the other thing they announced, they're adding language region independence. So now, no matter where you are, you can choose your region. So that's nice for people that are playing.
Does that mean us English people can have words spelt properly as well?
Crikey.
Yes, I hope so. But they also announced Cortana support is coming as well. And then
Which is great. I'm using Cortana right now, and I love it.
Yep.
It doesn't work as well. It doesn't work as well as
That's
Xbox
right.
whatever.
Your preview though, it's okay. It'll work when it comes out.
Yeah.
They'll
We
work the
need you to
kinks
work
out.
all the bugs out. So you'll be good.
But it trips over anybody with an accent.
Wait.
I don't have an accent. It's you guys who have an accent.
Uh-oh.
He's right. We all have
So
an
we're
accent.
the problem now.
Anybody who
Wait.
doesn't have a United States type of accent.
I would like to go on record to say that I did not make any sort of English joke right then. Okay, that was all Kendra.
Yes, Steve. Okay, move on from that. They did say the 3 most requested features that are coming to Xbox Live. Now, I don't know who requested it. They didn't really tell us. It's their most requested. Clubs are now coming to Xbox Live. Now, what this reminds me of, for any Wii U owners, it reminds me of Miiverse, where you have like a different group for each game. So you can kind of go on there, talk about the game, meet people that are interested in the same game as you. They said they're going to have what's called Looking for Group. It's going to be on Xbox Live. So if you're trying to make a clan or make a group, to play the Division or play, whatever it is you're looking for, Titanfall 2, you want to make that. It's a place you can go and say, hey, looking for love on Titanfall 2, love walks on the beach and sunsets, and then send that out, and then people will come back and say, hey, I love Titanfall and sunsets too, and they connect, and then it'll be beautiful.
You're suggesting Xbox Tinder.
Yeah, Xbox
Right,
Tinder. I
exactly.
like that.
Yes, and you can use Connect to swipe left or right. You'll be good to go.
Put that Connect to
Right.
use.
But put that Connect to good use. That's what the PlayStation Man says.
It's Facebook groups.
Right, pretty much. The other thing they're doing is Arena on Xbox One. It almost mimics exactly what EA told us the other night.
Yeah.
You can discover, register, and compete in online tournaments. That's pretty much what this is for. So I'm kind of confused why, because EA announced it for Madden with their tournament thing last night at their show, and then Microsoft came out and said, we got this great thing for Madden and FIFA where you can have your own tournaments. I'm like, but EA already told me that. Why do I need this on Xbox for its own separate thing? So I'm assuming it'll be good in certain areas. But I guess just real quick, are you all happy with the changes coming to Xbox One? The features?
Sensitive.
With silence, I'm assuming that's a booming yes.
Background music. They could have said nothing but background music, and we could have moved on. That's fine.
So wait. Is background music this year's backwards compatibility?
No,
No.
not at all. But it's something that I want.
I like.
It's better than looking for groups. I mean, it sounds like a classified ad. No.
Exactly.
I think it's okay. I mean, there are a lot of times when I don't have anybody on my friends list who plays the type of games that I do. I don't know anybody that plays RPGs outside of maybe a few people. It would be cool to find a group of people that likes the same RPG that I do, and I could talk to them about it. What if I need help with something? We could talk about it.
But you were the only person who played Cora.
No, that's right.
Hey, if we had this group before, he'll be able to find a whole other 3 or 4 people that enjoy Cora.
The far reaches of the world.
Andrew,
He'll be able to find both players who played it as well as him.
Let's be honest, right? Anything added is added value to somebody. I mean,
Right.
we may not get it, but the fact that they're still taking the time to flesh out new features and new things that some people in the community are looking for just shows their continued commitment to making the product and the brand better. So all of that's good, but just give me music. That's all I want.
Sure. Well, speaking of things that kind of cater to an audience other than us, they did have a little segment where they came out and talked about Minecraft. I'm not a huge Minecraft player. I know my brother-in-law and his brother-in-law were actually super excited about Minecraft. They're actually out there playing Minecraft right now, enjoying themselves with that. But I'm not a huge Minecraft player. I enjoy it. I think it's great. But there's new features, cross-play between the portable and the console. They're adding, I believe they're adding mod support. I think they're doing that as well.
Yeah, it's called add-ons. Yeah, so I remember the story. So real quick, all you need to know is that you can now cross-play between PC and mobile, and with Xbox One. and Xbox 360, so the whole family's kind of coming together, which is cool. And then they added what they're calling add-ons, which is mods. The cool thing about mods is, and what they showed is you can take anything that's already in the world and kind of not even skin it, but repurpose it. So the zombies, for instance, in the trailer became aliens that had lasers and they were attacking, and the regular iron golem became a giant like alien iron golem who's looking at you. And then you can get the villagers to become. They look like agents from the Matrix for some reason in the trailer, but like they're all decked out and they're defending you. They're fighting for you. So again, Minecraft is one of those things that not everybody gets or really even appreciates or understands, but to the ones that do, like that is the only game they play all the time.
Sure.
And adding these features is super cool.
Now, one thing I'll say, I mean, we are getting up pretty close on Ubisoft starting here pretty soon. We have a lot of news to cover. So real quick, now, Chris, I believe you're the one that wrote about it. The customized controllers. What is that? Hit us with the information on that real quick.
I think Kendra did.
Oh,
Yeah,
Kendra
that
did.
was me.
Kendra, go for it.
I mean, it was really quick. Basic, what was it? Xbox Design Labs. Basically, you design a controller. You have them put colors from the sticks to the body. What's going on?
It's our window.
Okay, creepy. From the sticks to the body till everything, even have your own name put on it. And you have that sent in, and I think it was something like they would charge you $70 and $10 to put your name on it. It was very quick. It's very simple. Just personalize your controller.
Cool. After that, just real quick, they showed a trailer for Inside. They said that is coming June 29th. So that's actually coming
soon,
pretty soon, which is awesome.
So pumped.
After that, they talked about a trailer for We Happy Few.
Oh, yes.
A brand new trailer. Looks absolutely
Bioshock.
awesome.
Epic.
Super excited for that.
My
That's
favorite part of the
actually-
whole show.
Yes, it looks
I think Steve called that. Steve
Sure.
called that.
Yeah.
That's actually coming July 26th, the Xbox game preview. Now, Andrew,
So
why
good.
were you so excited for this?
Everything about it, like the way that it looked, all like the sound effects, the music, the tone.
Setting.
When they started smashing the pinata, I knew it was not a pinata, and when I found out what it was, like I was just smiling because it was such a like twisted thing, and I was
Matt, that made you smile. Okay, I think we know what's going on in Andrew's head right now.
You know I like horror.
E3 is breaking this man.
You know I love like horror games, and I've seen videos of this being played. It's so creepy. It's so cool. And it looks like my kind of game, but it also looks like just a really unique game, and I think it's going to be a fantastic experience.
Cool. And Steve, why were you? I mean, you're pretty excited for it too.
Yeah, I'm not really into horror games, but it really reminds me of it's got the tone of Bioshock when you first played that game, that kind of creepy, brooding kind of thing, and something just a little bit off kilter, and it just seems like a really fantastic game. So it might be a horror game, but I'm stoked to play it.
Cool. Now, Josh, remind us, where's the game coming on July 28th?
You're a funny guy, James. I will still be able to enjoy it along with my fellow Xbox brethren.
Eventually.
But yes, like you said, you have me at Bioshock.
Right.
It looks fantastic.
It looks really, really good. I'm super excited for that game. After that, they talked about Tekken 7 and let us know that a free copy of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is now available on Xbox One. You can get that. Andrew, you must be excited. Another fighting game, man.
The cheers for that one were pretty big. When Akuma came out, everybody lost their cool, and I was giddy. Just like
Were you laughing like a little girl?
no, but as soon as the gameplay started, yeah.
It's like an anime when their eyes get real big and they get all excited. I can just imagine Andrew doing that.
As soon as the gameplay started, my eyes were just, they weren't wide like, but they were just glued to the screen, and I just couldn't wait to play it.
Cool.
That's another one that's used to be on Sony, pretty much exclusively Tekken, so I think Microsoft had to show that they had some type of fighting game in the works that's more on their side to deal with Street Fighter V, so worked out well.
What, other than Killer Instinct?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, we're getting a lot of fighting games. I mean, well, we're getting more updates. Killer Instinct, Tekken 7's coming. We know. I mean, they didn't show it yet. We know Injustice 2 is coming because the trailers come out for that. There's going to be a lot of fighting games this year. So Andrew has a lot to be happy for.
As long as they're not broken.
Sure.
Right. Yeah.
Right. But being online, like all games being online now, balancing and tweaking isn't really an issue much anymore because they can always go in and patch it and fix stuff up. But actually, speaking of patching and fixing things up, patching weapons together like a chainsaw and like a sledgehammer, put those together. What do you get? Dead Rising 4. Now, Chris, I believe you are the one that wrote the Dead Rising 4 story. Is that correct?
No, wrong.
Kendra got that again. My gosh, I'm just
Come on, James.
Kendra,
Know your crew.
Hey, it was all this PlayStation guy. He was bugging me the whole time. Hey, man, that's not cool. Hey, man, that's not cool. Okay, tell us about Dead Rising 4.
It's Frank back in the original mall, and it looks like the town around him. It seems to be more silly. It seems to be sillier than Dead Rising 3 because the first two Dead Risings were pretty much in that silly camp, kind of campy, kind of fun. This one had a power suit. They showed some of the more fun weapons. They showed what looked like a do-it-yourself sledgehammer, which I'm always a big fan of. Zombies go splat. It was taking place during Christmas. That was really about it. I mean, it was a bunch of quick flashes.
Yeah, the Christmas music was great. It was great.
Andrew, was it snowing inside the?
Yes.
Okay.
That was awesome.
That was really cool.
The most interesting.
I'm assuming it wasn't real snow. You shouldn't catch it on your tongue. It's probably poisonous or something. It's like asbestos. They just shook some asbestos above the ceiling. It's kind of
Did everybody's itchy at the end?
I mean, I saw it coming down. I was like, wait a minute, and then I looked up, and then it was just everywhere. But I thought
it was just sabotaged by Sony fanboys, getting their dandruff out or something, Just
Oh,
It was all from our beards there.
I think the most interesting thing about that one, though, that no one seemed to catch, is that it's not an exclusive game.
Right, I did see that. I was actually surprised by that because Dead Rising 3, it was only ever on Xbox One, right?
And PC, I think, but I mean, they did the same thing. But, yeah, it just it was there, and I was like, wait a minute, it's not an exclusive. And if it is, I'll be surprised because they didn't announce it as one. So I'm thinking it's a platform.
Okay, we're sure with Sony, guys. I mean, let's look at how many games released last year for them.
Yeah, there was not enough. Yeah,
I only needed one.
Right.
Bloodborne.
This guy's a huge Bloodborne fan, so we'll just stop there.
From software.
Bloodborne is an amazing game. We're gonna keep going.
That was like the best game of last year, though. So.
But you had the Order 1886 as well.
True.
I would say it's garbage, except for it needs to be flaming for it to be accurate.
All right.
At least it looked pretty.
Sure.
Wheels are coming off the bus. We're out of time.
Let's put the wheels back on. We are quickly running out of time. The next game on our list was Scalebound. Now, I was actually surprised they showed a Scalebound trailer. I'm super happy for it because I'm super excited. It's coming out in 2017. Don't have a date yet, but it looks absolutely awesome. I mean, they're riding on a dragon. You're shooting stuff, and some of it reminded me of Shadows of the Colossus. He was jumping on the monster, stabbing it a bunch of times. I mean,
I mentioned it looked a little bit like Monster Hunter on steroids in the chat. But here's my thing. We've said this from the very beginning. If Platinum knows how to do anything, it's how to make combat. And again, that's all we've seen, combat. I'm still worried about what this game actually is going to look like as a 30, 40, 50-hour RPG epic game. I just don't know where I stand with that. The combat looks fun. The graphics don't look great, but they still got a year to polish. But you got to show me more than just punching stuff at this point.
Sure. It's starting to look like this console generation's Lost Planet.
Yeah, that's good.
Sure.
Good analogy.
Mm-hmm. Now Brant was asking me before. He's like, "Is Platinum Games are they falling off? Are they not doing so well?" And I still have love for Platinum just because of Mad World and Bayonetta and Wonderful 101. I mean, they've had a couple let's say not great
okay
games. I mean, unless you ask Andrew about Legend of Korra.
Well,
I mean,
it's a
the
different
games haven't been
team.
that great, but I'm super excited for Scalebound because it's their A team working on this. It should be really, really
Yeah.
good. But Andrew, what do you think?
The bad games that they have were made by the team that does licensed games, so I'm really not worried. The gameplay looks just like you would expect Platinum to make, and my favorite part was when he put on the Beats headset and the music started going, and it was pretty awesome.
That was awesome.
And did you notice the one who was playing the demo had the headphones around his neck?
Yeah.
That was nice. I like that little touch. I like that.
Hey, Andrew? How did the crowd receive it? I mean,
As soon as he said co-op gameplay for Scalebound, the crowd went pretty crazy.
oh, cool.
No, they announced co-op last year though. I mean, they said it was coming.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no one's ever. The trailer showed it.
Sure.
Never actually showed gameplay, and actually seeing it was pretty cool. I mean, granted, we only saw the one guy's perspective, but I mean, having 3 other people fighting the same boss is pretty cool.
Sure. Now speaking of multiplayer sandboxes, let's move on to another game, a little game from a small, tiny indie company called Rare.
Finally.
Sea of Banjo. Sea of Banjo
Yeah.
or Kazooie of
Yeah.
Thieves? No. Okay. Sea of Thieves. Chris, why are you so hyped for Sea of Thieves?
Yeah. Oh, I am.
Tell us about that.
Yeah.
Here's a quick rundown, sir.
Yeah, so I wrote the story. So just what we wrote in the story was really, they didn't say much about the game, which actually is a little disappointing. They basically
Okay, with that, we'll move on to our next step.
so they showed the trailer. The trailer's up on the site. You should definitely take a look at it. It looks fantastic. So they showed 3 people playing for the first time. They jump on a ship. They get drunk and can't walk very well. They race out and leave one of their mates on the island and get into a battle at sea and sink their ship. I mean,
now, Chris, is that a normal Friday night for you?
That's pretty much what I'm doing right now, actually. So I mean, look. This game, if Rare can capture anything that they've done before coming to Microsoft, this game is going to be phenomenal. Microsoft bought them and ruined them, and so if this is like
Connect Sports wasn't like their savior.
yeah. So if they bought them for freaking avatars.
Sure.
Don't even get me started on that. So if they can get like that same magic back, and this game looked like pure fun, and if that's if that translates to the game, I can't wait to party up with 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 people and just freaking take a village. Like, it just looks great. What we don't know and what they didn't tell us is when the game's coming out. We were told last year we were going to get a beta this summer. There was no details on a beta, no details on a release date. And the fact that they didn't say something about it actually kind of has me worried. I think we may not see this game till next year.
And
I'm okay with
on
that.
top of it, it looks like a lot of fun, but I think the first-person perspective is a little questionable, in my opinion. Like, it should be like they're masters of third-person, platformer adventure games. So we'll see how it goes.
Sure. And Andrew, what were you going to say, sir?
I'm okay without having a date. I mean, I rather them just make the best game they can, and when it's ready, just be like, this is when it's coming out.
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, give me a good game, but dang it, I want to play it.
Sure.
Rare really need a hit now. That's
right.
The thing.
Yeah. Right.
They've kind of been lulling around in the doldrums. They need a decent game, and this looks like it could be that. I'm concerned as to how the game is going to work if you're not in a party, if you're not in a group, if you're on your own, and also whether there's like a plot that goes through the whole thing, or whether it's just this is the world, go play.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, that game is gonna be like a lot of games released now because it's online multiplayer is what that game's about. As long as the audience is there, it should be okay. Like Andrew, I know you mentioned earlier. I know this isn't really a great comparison, but like when Evolve launched, that is a just multiplayer game. You said you bought it and you couldn't find a game. That's the only thing I'm worried about with Sea of Thieves is if it doesn't catch on or if the audience doesn't stick around. That could be the only problem I could see for Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, but for me, I look at it more in the lines of Minecraft. If they give me an open world seafaring adventure that I can drop in and visit places and loot towns and then randomly meet up with strangers or party up and go to town, but I always have this live, living, breathing world that I can roam around in, like I'd be okay with that.
Is this going back to Xbox Tinder?
Swipe left, swipe right, man. That's what it connects.
It is.
Or you can use smart glass. Smart glass.
more of
swipe
the
left,
ROM.
Right.
Anyway, moving on as we're running out of time.
Sure, like real quick.
are.
The one surprise I didn't see coming, State of Decay 2 is announced.
Yes.
That looks pretty cool. Pretty excited
Great.
about that.
Looks good.
And where they ended, I shouldn't say they ended the show here. What they ended the show with, we're going to save for another episode because we could spend hours talking about VR and Xbox Scorpio. That is actually where they ended the show. But the last game trailer I believe they showed was Halo Wars 2,
Halo
correct?
Wars 2.
Yep.
Yes.
And they also announced a beta started today. Now, I know my brother-in-law's super excited.
He's
As soon as
probably
they
playing it
announced
out there right now.
He actually downloaded it while we're in here. He went and downloaded that. He's probably playing it right now. That should be super, super exciting. I'm not a big RTS.
Hold your britches.
Right. I'm not a big RTS guy myself, but I know people are pretty excited for Halo Wars
Best
2.
console strategy game, probably.
Right. Sure.
Yep.
Halo
That's-
Wars is the
yeah.
only RTS I've ever finished. I'm a huge Halo fan, absolutely huge Halo fan. So I got Halo Wars day one, and it is the only RTS I finished, and I loved it.
Cool.
And Halo Wars 2, yeah, I'll buy it day one.
Yep. Cool. And actually, with RTS, I think the last major RTS I played was like Command and Conquer on PC. So it's been a very, very long. Command and Conquer Red Alert. Actually, yes. So good.
What is that, Nod or whatever?
Oh man,
Yeah,
so good, so good. Bring it back to memories. Okay, guys, we've got about 5 minutes till Ubisoft starts, but real quick, just around the room, I think for me, and I hope for Brant, I don't know, he might give it a thumbs down. I think a big thumbs up for Microsoft's conference. They didn't show a single thing I was disappointed in.
Solid.
The major surprises I felt anyway, didn't see State of Decay 2 coming. The customizable controllers were great, and which we'll talk about another episode. Scorpio is real.
And
the
the
one
thing
thing.
is, they kept on target. It was just
Right.
boom, boom, boom. It wasn't just lollygagging
Right, it
on
wasn't
certain
like-
games
It
at all.
wasn't like EA with a big slog in it. So I think from over here we got 2 thumbs up for.
But, I'm not going to be on the Scorpio episode, but I just want to say that I think it's pretty bogus that everybody was praising like this as the second coming of Christ, and then all the news before then about the Sony Neo. Hey, this is a bad idea. Now that Xbox is doing it, it's totally fine.
Look,
It's marginally better
listen,
versus
I don't
better.
really understand it.
Come on, guys, 5
Listen.
minutes.
Wait, because you won't be
I'm
here
just
for me.
leaving my thought with that.
Look, because you won't be here for me to prove you wrong. The difference is Sony is building a console because theirs isn't good enough to do what they want it to do in VR. Microsoft is building a brand new way to play with an integration into a living room PC. They have a vision. Sony
like
is just
Xbox
grasping at
too.
straws.
Sure. Okay, well, Chris, while you're talking, thumbs up, thumbs down. What do you think of Microsoft?
Big thumbs up. I think since Phil has come on, I think this is his 3rd show, he has been nonstop knocking it out of the park. The games are tight. The demos are good. It's fast moving. There's a lot of variety. He doesn't waste time on filler or sales numbers. He just gives gamers what they want. I think the conference was fantastic. There was some stuff that I totally love, like Sea of Thieves and Inside, and that whole little indie showcase was fantastic. There's some stuff that I could care less about, like like Tekken or Killer Instinct. I'm not a fighting game fan, but Phil knows what gamers want, and he makes sure that it's there. I mean, 2 thumbs way up for me. I thought it was great.
Cool. Kendra, what about you? Were you thumbs up? Good show.
Thumbs up. And you guys are probably gonna hate me for saying this, but I'm actually really pumped about Halo Wars. Really, really love that. That and State of Decay 2.
Cool. No hate from us. It should be a good game. People are excited.
Except for the PlayStation guy.
Sure.
I want a strategy
hate his
game.
way.
Okay, Steve, what about you, man? Thumbs up? Big thumbs up?
Single thumbs up. I thought it was good. I thought it was good, not great. I was hoping for some Crackdown 3 info, but that's probably going to come. That's probably going to come at Gamescom or something. I was also hoping for a new Forza franchise rather than just Forza Horizon 3. But We Happy Few just stole it for me. That looks so good. Yeah.
So good. Cool. Now, Andrew, what about you? Being on the show floor especially, what do you think? Big thumbs up?
2 thumbs right up. I like, you know what? They didn't announce a new IP. Totally okay. They killed it with the Scorpio announcement. That had the crowd going crazy. The ID at Xbox.
Applause. Democracy ends. Yes, like Star Wars.
The ID at Xbox stuff got me excited. Cuphead, Outlast 2. I'm a huge horror guy, so Outlast got a thumbs up for me.
Cool.
I'm about to buy another Elite controller because I want that Gears one.
It looked really good. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
That looked really awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I actually did not see the Battlefield trailer yesterday, so seeing it for the first time today, totally sold on it.
Cool. Awesome. Well, with that, guys, that was our thoughts on the Microsoft conference. Go back, check out our YouTube page. You can find EA and Bethesda. We also have Ubisoft coming up later today, so make sure to stick onto our YouTube channel. You can always find our other news stories at xboxenthusiast.com. Check that out. You can also subscribe to us on iTunes, on the Google Play Store, SoundCloud, Microsoft MP3 Store. We are everywhere. Make sure to go on and rate us. That would be awesome. Also, make sure to find us on Facebook, and we're also on Twitter at Enthusiast Xbox. So until next time, everybody, we are out.
Bye.
Bye.